We're heading to a place called Conimbriga on the east coast of Portugal. It's famous as being Portugal's largest and most impressive Roman archeological site. But the weather's about to turn, and we have heavy rain when we arrive, and the cars parked here don't hang about. We have the car park to ourselves, but it's not going to be that way in the morning. What do you think's going on? I've had a wee walk with Kira this morning, and last night this car park was completely empty. This morning all these Land Rovers have turned up. What do you think's going on?
I woke up this morning and there was one Jeep type Land Rover coming in and they were looking at the van. I thought, well, that looks a bit suspicious that they're like looking at us. So I went outside and then suddenly we're surrounded by all these kind of Jeep van type things. So I don't know if it's a meetup because they've now got a table out with coffee and some fruit and things like that.
Well, I did ask at the reception last night if we were allowed to park here, and they said yes, so we're not doing anything wrong, but maybe we are in their usual space. Wait and I'll have a look. Right, they've got a little buffet spread and everything going on now. It's like they're having a picnic, or they're expecting a picnic for a lot of people. So they are. Maybe it's for their Land Rover meetup. The thing is, we've still got access to get out if we need to get out. They've left a space there. They're not right in front of the van. Well, we'll clean the window a wee bit so we can have a right nosy. That's better. Now I can have a good view. They've got sandwiches, they've got oranges, they've got 3 big pots of coffee. They must be expecting a lot of people. There's a lot more people turning up now. They're having a bit of a party or something out there. We've managed to figure out that it's an off-roading group. It says it on the side of one of the Land Rovers, and they've all got the green matching tops on. So it's a bit of a club meetup. Just outside our van, there's a large row of Land Rovers, and they look absolutely immaculate, polished to within an inch of their lives, hardly a mark on them. We're parked up here to see a Roman settlement today. It's at a place called Conimbriga, and it's a little bit of a detour off the N2, but I'm sure it's going to be really worth it. It was recommended to us by one of our subscribers, David. If you're watching, really appreciate you messaging us about this place because I think it looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're in no rush to move anyway. The archaeological site doesn't open until 10 o'clock, so we're going to hang about here and then we'll pretty much be here for the rest of the day. We leave the Land Rover enthusiasts to it and we head over to the archaeological site, but we just noticed that there's a large bus of tourists come in, so we hot-foot it to get in front of them at reception.
2.
Well, our question about the off-road vehicles back at the car park has just been answered. There's a whole big string of them just turned up here. Now, it turns out that the walk that we're on here, taking us into this archaeological site, is also part of this trail that the off-road trucks and Land Rovers actually use. And they're just coming down here, a big string of them, one after the other. Really, really nice looking vehicles, very, very shiny. It's obviously their pride and joy. And they're all out today just enjoying it, enjoying all this terrain that they're able to drive on. They just went past us and they're now going down the bottom of the hill. We can just see them through a little gap in the trees. We've been peeking down and we could see them going down there. They're obviously taking their time. It's not the type of road that you just put the foot down. But if you're in one of these 4x4s, it shouldn't be a problem for them. They're just taking it easy and they're managing it fine.
There was lots of people walking up and we asked one of the girls what it was about and she said it's an opportunity for them to explore their area. I think that's really good that they're encouraging young people to come out and look about rather than being stuck in front of machines. And with the sun out, this is a gorgeous park. Lots of olive trees, lots of picnic tables under the olive trees for a bit of shade. This is also part of the Camino de Fatima, which is the path of Fatima, and I think it's a trail that you can do.
See, there's a little bit under shelter. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's probably to protect the mosaics and things. Hello. This here is an old section of a Roman road. And I think Tricia over there is looking at some mosaic flooring. These are pretty impressive, aren't they? What does it say about these?
They're very nice. Two mosaic fragments, and they were discovered in 1899. And they are polychromatic decoration, which I think is a brilliant word, polychromatic, and depicting mostly geometrical subjects. And I think it's amazing to think that these are from Roman times.
Look at the detail on that. Isn't that amazing?
I know, look at the wee tiny, tiny stone that are used to make these up. They wouldn't look out of place in a modern home at all.
So my guess is that this is just one huge big villa that was probably owned by someone that had a fair bit of money and influence in this area. Tricia's got some information there on a board. See what we can find out.
This whole thing is a settlement. So it has like baths and shops and places for people to stay. So it's a Roman settlement.
Oh, okay. So what does it say on there about this area? I think this was for bathing, wasn't it?
The baths alley gave access to the service area of the baths, and these were suspected to be little shops. So that one in the middle might have been a tavern, selling food, etc., to the visitors that were coming to use the baths.
This is a bathing area here.
Yeah.
And it dates to the end of the 1st century, what the board says. So really, really old.
And do you know what that part here is? It's been covered by plastic.
That's their jacuzzi hot tub.
That's a laconium.
A laconium.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is like a hot air steam area.
Right, okay.
And then you've got that little corner bit there, and that's reserved, a steam room reserved for women, or a hot room reserved for women.
How come the women get something special?
Do you want new men seen our bits?
It says here that this is the house of the swastika mosaic. It was the home of a relatively wealthy family, and its construction goes back to the 1st century, although its final details are from the 2nd century. The mosaics belonged to the second half of the 3rd century, and soon after that the house was demolished in order to construct the late imperial wall. And I guess that's the imperial wall. I thought at first that was just all natural, but nope, that's a wall, all right.
This is the House of the Skeletons. It's so called because later on it was used as a burial area, an acropolis. So here you have, this would have been a room, and this is typical of a Roman entrance. So there probably would have been sort of a water feature here, and at the back there is a large dining area, which was also typical of the Romans. So this was a central area, and all the rooms were leading off it. Very posh.
Did you notice these pillars? The bricks are actually like slices of cake. See that?
Yeah.
You're getting some inspiration for some home decor when we get back.
Yeah, maybe we'll rip up the floor, eh, and put these in.
Aye, some of these tiles. That would be pretty good. I really like this one.
Along here are shops where you would have came and got maybe your bread or your baskets or maybe your linen for your toga. And here you can see running down the street is probably a drain. And it looks like if it pulls down there, maybe that's somewhere you just came to dip your toes. This is a cryptoportico, which is a long subterranean pathway leading to the basement shops.
A what? Cryptoportico.
Cryptoportico.
Sounds like a newfangled Portuguese currency. There's another really large area here for us to have a look round. We'll have a wander up there, see what this is all about. In fact, before we go up there, this site goes way, way, way up there. It's absolutely massive. I need to catch up. Look at the steps there. This must have been some kind of bathhouse.
Yeah, I think it was probably a big pool by the looks of it. But this area is the baths of the aqueduct.
Yeah, where's the aqueduct then?
Oh, I don't know. Need to find it.
Well, there's a big gorge down there with a waterfall. Maybe the aqueduct was over that. all around there's these channels. Some of them have got slabs on the top. I suppose they all would have had that. It would have been for channeling the water into the baths. So Kira's had a carry again. Tricia's away up in front. So I'm just going to try and catch up. Hope you're being careful going down there.
They're very steep.
Watch that bit at the end. That's that huge gorge there. And Tricia's working her way along. Don't know what you can see down there. The reason the path takes you down here is so you can have a peek in here. There's some Iron Age archaeology in here that dates to 400 BC. This impressive building behind me, this is the biggest one in this whole area. It's the House of Conimbriga. It's over 3,000 square metres in size, so a big, big building excavated in the 1930s.
This is the baths of the house attributed to Canterbury. And here you have hexagonal tanks, so this one here and that one there, and they were to heat the water. And then over here, you've got the cold water tanks, and it's the only evidence of a privately owned bathhouse.
Oh, she's getting a carry again from her mummy. Oh, she likes getting a carry from her mum. This area was excavated in the 60s and 70s, and it's believed to be a series of shops and workshops. It's known as the insula of the phallic vase. I wonder what the phallic vase was. This here is the forum, and this would have been a very important area. I suppose the government would sit here, make up the rules of the day. And just beyond the forum, this whole area here, this was a temple. Oh, there's a large group of people coming in. That's quite an impressive archway that you've found there.
It is, it's very impressive.
This whole area is undercover. It must be extra special. It certainly looks like it is. The information boards are great. They tell you all about these places. It says that this is the House of the Fountains, an aristocratic residence built over a previous construction which was partially reused. This remarkable house constitutes the best example of mosaic art, mural painting, and waterworks architecture known in the city. Its construction goes back to the beginning of the 1st century. It was subjected to changes in the first half of the 2nd century, being abandoned and demolished by the end of the 3rd century and the beginning of the 4th century due to the construction of the late imperial wall. The house was not fully excavated. Part of it extends to the north under the small road. There's a lady's face there, ivy in the hair. I'm assuming it's a lady. And some fighting scenes or someone out with their dog or something. And in the centre, some chariots. There's roses on this side. And then over here, lots of different animals. There's a hunting scene on this one. You can see the horses all going round, and there's a deer there. They've got the spears out. On this mosaic, someone's been out hunting with their dog, and they're bringing back their prize on a stick. Looks like a game bird or something. We've been in here for 2 hours, so we're in need of a bit of lunch. Well, it's really chucking it down now. I don't know if we will be doing anything this afternoon at this rate. What do you think, Kira? We didn't half time that well, eh? The rain now is absolutely chucking it down out there. And I'm ready for this. Who passes a knife, will you?
Here you go.
Well, at least we found out where all those Land Rover folk were going. They must be having great fun going down that track. Quite jealous, actually. Quite fancy having a go at that. We'll have this sandwich and then we'll head back out, eh? Right, the rain is off. I'm going to nip over to the museum now. I'm going to just take a few shots. I'm going to cherry pick some of the best ones just to let you see these. I head over to the museum where all of the artefacts recovered from the excavation are housed. Inside there are several rooms with a very impressive collection of displays, ranging from small finds like brooches, rings and arrowheads, pottery, tools, and lots of sculptures, or at least parts of them. These ones show the hairstyles of the day. This mosaic represents the labyrinth of Crete, surrounded by walls with the Minotaur at its centre. Oh, is that the tea on? I'm having pork tonight, aren't I?
Yeah, you're having pork loin medallions.
Not pork chops then.
No, not pork chops.
I just thought that they might be quite bland having
Well,
pork like that.
I'm going to give you it with a teriyaki sauce and rice.
Teriyaki sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not normally have that with chicken or beef?
You can do. You can have it with prawns. I'm having prawns.
Oh, I would have had prawns. That would save you cooking twice.
Oh, that doesn't matter. And there's not enough prawns anyway to make it for two.
Yeah, but I hate to put you to extra work by having to cook twice.
It's not really cooking twice. It's two pans, but I just cook them at the same time. Because the rice is ready.
Are you going to slice these up a bit then if you're doing them in the sauce?
No, I think we'll just leave them as whole and I'll put the teriyaki sauce over and I'll just place them on top of your rice. You can cut them because it'll keep some of the flavour in.
I see you've got the prawns on at the same time.
Just putting the sweet teriyaki sauce on. Sticky teriyaki sauce.
Well, it looks really good and they're sizzling away. These ridge monkeys are good for that, aren't they?
Yeah. You can either use them like closed up or separate them for two pans. Quite versatile, I like them.
Have you got any peppers or anything to add in with that?
No, you'll just have to make do.
Sometimes you're better with no veg. This looks really good. And this pork is really tender. Looks great. Looks really good. How's yours?
Really hot.
Apart from being really hot, how does it taste?
Very nice. I think I made a bit too much rice, but hey.
Compliments to the chef.
Thank you.
An empty plate. She sure knows how to spoil me.